Today, we're going to open a deep inquiry into the power of coherence, the alignment of thought, word, and action. This is coherence. The alignment is the heart of integrity, vitality, and spiritual awakening. Let us step into this together as we move into an exploration of thought, word, and deed, or thought, word, and action. Alignment matters. Consider a time when you felt fully aligned. Your thoughts were clear. Your words reflected your thoughts. In other words, you were honest, and your actions congruent with both. There was strength in your presence. Now, consider when you were misaligned, perhaps thinking one thing, saying another, and acting differently. That creates tension, mistrust, and it leaks energy. The Ayurveda yogic process is about reclaiming alignment so that all layers of your being flow as one. This leads us to the ability to choose our state of being, but we must have this alignment, just like we must have the alignment of breath, body, and mind. In Ayurveda Yoga, we understand and learn that thought is a wave. It's a vibration that moves within the mind. Word is the crystallization of that wave into sound, shabda. Action is the embodiment of both, the crystallized form into the world. When they align, coherence arises, and like a pure frequency, free of static. When they diverge, incoherence and even decoherence scatter the currents. Coherence, incoherence, and decoherence. Coherence is a wave, form, and manifestation of harmony, trust, vitality, a dharmic clarity of wisdom. Incoherence is a misalignment, but still tethered. However, there's confusion and mistrust. Decoherence is burnout, scattering of energy, a collapse of clarity. So reflect. Where do you notice coherency in your life? How about in your body, in your relationships? Where do you see incoherency in your body, your mind, and your relationships? This brings us now to the koshas, the body, the energy, the mind, wisdom, and the bliss, all that are veiled by Maya. Coherence pierces these veils and harmonizes with truth. Incoherence agitates the manamaya and pranamaya koshas. Decoherence disrupts deeper sheaths, obscuring clarity in the wisdom and bliss layers. Alignment allows us to move through the illusion into deeper truths. As we begin to understand the concept of vrittis, the mind is full of vrittis. These fluctuations can be coherent, sattvic, incoherent, rajasic, or decoherent, tamasic. Coherent vrittis allow the space of clarity and dharana, or a concentration. Incoherent vrittis scatters the focus. Decoherent vrittis collapse our awareness into dullness and delusion. Mastery of the vrittis through practice is the key to sustained coherency. Kriya Yoga is a strategy for alignment. As you have heard before, but it always bears repeating, Patanjali offers us Kriya Yoga, tapas, vidyaya, and ishvara pranidhana, as the direct path to coherence. Tapas is discipline or heat. It purifies through thought, word, and action. Through discipline of the body, breath, and mind, incoherency is burned away. Tapas builds the strength to live what we truly believe. Svidhyaya is the study of the self through wisdom, seeing it through the lens of the wisdom teachings, many of the ones you gain here, and we align our words with truth. Svidhyaya refines the language we use, both inwardly and outwardly. When words resonate with wisdom, coherence, we become much stronger. Ishvara pranidhana, or surrendering to the divine. Action finds coherence through surrender. When we release the ego and identification with the ego, we align with higher will and action becomes an offering. This dissolves decoherence and resolves harmony. This triad of discipline, study, and surrender is the ongoing Kriya, the practice that restores alignment across the koshas, pierces the veil of Maya, and strengthens us. We begin to gain so much more clarity, vitality, and very important trust within ourselves. A vigilance is required. If not, we experience only confusion, wasted energy, and then we find very much that we're moving into decoherence, feeling burnt out, but knowing that that burnout can be a wake-up call for surrender and realignment. Now, take a deep breath. Recall one thought, word, or action that you will align with today. You can allow it to be with your tapas, with your svadhyaya. Allow it to be with surrender. This is the path of coherence. May all beings be blessed as we walk this and we begin to understand that what we perceive in the material world and many of the everyday mind in the material world perceives as good or bad or right or wrong is simply a decoherency, an incoherency, or coherency. We are each a tone in this vibration of the frequency of life. It's simply a matter of attuning ourselves and to move into the tone, the truth of who we are. To step out of the need to make ourselves guilty or wrong or bad, but instead to understand that step by step, as we begin to gather our attention and focus our attention, we can let the past be in the past, like a wave dissolving into the sand or dissolving into the ocean. And remember that we are all built to make beautiful music together. Namaste.